This lesson is on media literacy. Honestly, I had a difficult time coming up with something for media literacy in the math classroom. Most of it is going to be in relation to statistical analysis, and being that I teach algebra, I had to really think outside the box for this one. So what I came up with was misleading graphs, and teaching the students on the way the media portrays graphs and being literate and being able to read them and understand them. So what the lesson is that I came up with was for students to come up with 5 graphs. They can, as you see in front here, I just kind of went into Google, put in misleading graphs, and then went to images. So they can actually just pull up graphs here that they can analyze. And they have to say not only that they're misleading, but why are they misleading? What was the intention of, the creator? The media is trying to sell something, trying to convince you of something. What was their goal in creating this graph, and what was misleading about it? So the students need to understand that they're looking at size, they're looking at the intervals, they're looking at the titles, they're, looking at outliers. Sometimes it's color usage, sometimes it's the type of graph that's used. So they need to sit and decide, why did they use this? What makes it misleading? What was their goal in trying to make that graph, deceive people, basically? So I also had stated that they could use the old-fashioned newspaper, which would, give them another real-world application. They can look through the newspaper for different graphs, and many of the graphs in the newspaper are going to be misleading because they're trying to sell something. They're trying to get you to believe something. So that is the basis of the lesson, and they have to report back, and we will have a class, they will present their graphs to the class and then explain why they're misleading and why the media would do so. So if we look at the rubric would be, the standards. We would use 1, facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity, which is teachers use their knowledge of subject matter, teaching and learning, and technology to facilitate experiences that advance student learning, creativity, and innovation in both face-to-face and virtual environments. And this one would be B, engage students in exploring real-world issues and solving authentic problems using digital tools and resources. Students are actually looking at real graphs. Especially if they go the newspaper route, they're really going to see how it is used, and magazines would work as well. So when we look at the rubric for 1B, and we look under proficient, facilitate activities that engage students in planning and managing research projects focused on real-world issues, in applying critical thinking to solve authentic problems, and in selecting appropriate digital tools and resources to accomplish and enhance this process. So the students are trying to solve a real-world problem. They're learning how to be media literate when they're looking at graphs. To know, you don't just fall for something because the graph displays that. You have to actually know what does the graph display and be able to identify the parts. And most of the time, the media is going to create the graph to be misleading, to get people to think that their product is better, or that, whatever their beliefs are the stronger values. So this is my lesson on media literacy, and that's it.